We moved Eddie into a place where it's supposed to make my life easier because I don't have to deal with like stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a list of 4 things in his room that need to be fixed, and they've been on there for the 12 days that he's lived there. And I have mentioned them, and they're still on the list. And I'm like, can I build you guys a Google form to use as a work order system where we can check on the status? Because like your whole thing of we just tell the guy and then he fixes stuff is not a great system. Like it's not going to cost you any money. I'll set it up for free. Like, yeah. Please.
Your system's very 1990, and I need you to be a little more 2020.
Like in 1990, they would have had a paper work order system. So at least there would have been something. Like there's literally nothing. They're like, yeah, you just tell us. And I'm like, I mean, just telling you works if you get the shit done. But yeah. Shit done. So anyway.
I mean, is it like big shit, or is it just like we're paying a lot of money for this, so we want this shit fixed shit?
His room is hot.
Oh.
Unpleasantly hot.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. That's like bad for his health.
Yeah.
I mean,
and my mood.
I think you need to say that if you don't get this fixed, I'm going to call Health and Human Services.
I don't want to listen. At some point, they're going to be responsible for showering him. So I don't need to be coming in hot. Like, that does not need to happen.
Okay, all right.
Hello, and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather, and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week, we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
How'd you waste time this week?
Oh, is that it? Is that how you wasted time?
Oh, no, I got more, but that was just the starters. That was the appetizer of my conversation.
So I have spent a lot of time and money trying to get Elliot out of my bed. For most of the nights, or at least the night. Are you okay?
It's like swallow it.
Out, y'all! I'm so hilarious. I killed her. She's choking to
death. I was trying to swallow too much water, and you did a funny.
Oh, it was because I'm funny. I just thought you forgot how to drink water.
Well, I mean, sometimes I have a drinking problem, but please elucidate if you care to.
I do care to. I mean, I will. And I have in previous years spent lots of money, not so much time, but lots of money. So the latest negotiation bargaining chip is we got a cat.
Yeah.
So his name is Cricket, and he's very sweet, and he's very cute. He's a great, wonderful, lovely cat. It's been a little over a week now, and no regrets. So that's good.
I was getting a massage today, and I thought, maybe Mom and I should get a cat. So that's how great a cat Cricket is. It makes me think maybe I should get a cat.
He is so great. And you haven't even seen the video of him watching the Roomba that I posted 20 minutes ago.
We can't use our Roomba because it makes Mom too anxious. It's my closet.
So these are the kinds of things when I say she needs a higher dosage of anxiety medicine, that would be an example.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Roomba makes her anxious?
She thinks it's gonna eat something or whatever. She just follows it around like it's a toddler.
Well, at least it gives her something to do.
No, because she's anxious the whole time she's following it around. And then she's like, I can just vacuum faster. And I'm like, you don't vacuum well. But
yeah. Close the doors to the rooms that you're worried about.
They're all the rooms. Every room.
Has what?
It's really entertaining.
What does she think? Like,
listen,
up off the
we're
floor.
going to take some gummies at Christmas. I'm going to turn on the Roomba. It's going to be great. That's your Christmas present this year.
Well, great, because Elliot's scared of it too. So
cool.
we went in the living room to do something, and Roomba was going on in the living room, and then all of a sudden he's like, Molly, and I was like, walk in here. As I'm trying to stop, like I'm working very hard to like
not yell.
Him like the 5-year-old, intelligent, capable 5-year-old that he is, almost 5.5-year-old. And he's like, I can't, I'm trapped on the couch. It's Roomba. like Ben, I was like, would you go rescue your son, please? Well, because I was folding laundry. I was like, go rescue your son. Bless his heart. And he's been great today. But anyway, so yes, we got a cat. His name is Cricket. We adopted him from the Humane Society. So, before people, all you animal people out there waiting with bated breath, when I said I spent a lot of money, like I still spent a lot of money. So like, God love the Humane Society. And like, I get it. But, the only thing you can find as far as like costs on their website, like adoption fees or whatever, they're like $19 and up for cats. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. That motherfucker was $178. And they didn't tell me. And like, it was the very last thing. And like, Elliot was with me and like, he was about to explode from excitement because the thing about it is like, it's hard to diagnose in children, but he definitely has ADHD because he really likes to hyperfocus and fixate. And so like he found the picture of Cricket when we were online, like we were looking at cats online and he saw the picture of Cricket and he's like, that's the one, like the holy grail of cats. To the point that, like, when we actually went to the Humane Society, he wouldn't even look at any of the other cats. Like, wouldn't even look. Except for the one that was in the cage with Cricket when he tried to convince me that we needed to get 2. Because Cricket would be lonely. And then it came down to we will leave here with 1 cat or we will get in the car and leave here with 0 cats.
By the way, those are the only negotiations you should be making, but please continue with your hilarious stories.
So we, Cricket, he's very soft, we're doing, and it takes him forever to do the paper, even though I had the form already filled out before we went in there to like kind of speed up the process. And there was a lot of people there for 1:00 on a Thursday adopting animals, which yay, lovely. He actually said to me the other day, I don't know, he goes, I wonder how many cats the Humane Society sold today. You want to call them? But anyway, so more like the time investment hasn't been that much, but the money, because then it's like litter and cat food and cat toys and a litter box and a pad for the litter box, and which mostly cat toys. I'm like, you have tiny little toys all over the house, so cat toys, which they are. It's like I made him pick some up today, and he goes, "No, these are mine." And I said, "Yeah, but Cricket's playing with them, and you don't, so they're his." Put him in the box. He did. He didn't argue with me. So, so just that, but it's working for the most part. So he's with me when Ben's not here, but it took a few nights and it's still not perfect. He still comes in a couple times a night sometimes, depending on, but he's getting much better about one of the first nights he fought, like he woke up at 1 a.m. and didn't go back to sleep till 2:30 in the morning because he was just, But luckily, I already had the day off work because I was recovering from falling. Oh, I fell again.
No.
Yeah, I fell again because we came home yesterday and I was coming in the door, like I've just come in the door. It was like 4 in the afternoon. At 4:30 on Saturdays is like not my time apparently. Like I just need to sit down.
Just
like
stay home.
Like Saturdays at 4:00, I need to sit down and I can't get up until like 4:45. I'm sorry, I can't. Wherever I am, I have to sit down, even if I have to sit down on the ground. Like I
Just
sit down.
meditate.
Yeah. Or just stand very still. So we're like coming in the door and like, you know, there had been some other stuff, you know, so I'm already like a little like, you know, we come in and always, you know, like trying not to let the cat out, which he's really great. And he doesn't even try to get out. Oh, no. Oh, I'll tell you that one later. It's not really pocket. Anyway, Elliot grabs my cane and starts pretending it's a vacuum cleaner. And he's like, and like, I'm just not like thinking to be like, hey, stop. And like, but he's doing it in the kitchen. And I just like tripped and fell. And hence the picture of me sitting in front of the oven that was on Instagram. Cause I was just like, and I'm not hurt. Like, I mean, like my wrist hurts a little bit and I've got like a bruise on my elbow, but luckily I fell on this side, which is my good side. Instead of re-injuring the bad side. You know what? We're just going to amputate. Just cut it off. And I don't know what.
Like your head? Like cut off your whole head?
Just cut off my whole, yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah, and then I have like one more, which is kind of related to this, but go ahead. I feel like I've been talking for a while. How'd you waste time?
Okay. Well, I wasted time being attacked by yellow jackets a week ago. And Mom was having her music practice here. I was wearing, yeah, and Eddie was here, and Eddie's deathly allergic, and I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and his dog Sky was playing with a big ball, and his dog Sky was so excited, and then it got stuck in the ground cover, so I went over there to investigate, and all of a sudden I was like, ow, ow, ow. And then I realized there were all these yellow jackets flying around me, and then I panicked, and I ran into the house. Bad plan. I just said, help me, help me, help me, help me. Mom took me back outside, better plan, and moved me to the side of the house where I couldn't be seen and started pulling my clothes off of me. Better plan. So there I was in my underwear, trying to get all these bugs off me. And I'm standing out there naked, like in my underwear, and living the worst anxiety dream of my life. And then she comes and like takes forever to find some dress that kind of sort of fits, but it has like this lining, so like I can't get it on, and then they're like still flying around, and I like try to pick up my shirt and another one flies out, and I'm like, and so then she's like, do you want to take a shower? And I'm like, no. He's like, wait, I'll make a paste of baking soda and vinegar. So she like makes about a quarter's worth of paste. I got stung at least 13 times, and some of those stings looked like welts. So I definitely got stung more than 13 times, and I have this little dollop of paste to try to cover my big old body with. It's like, this is no good. And then everybody for 2 days was like, how are you? How are you? How are you? And it was like, listen, I have nerve pain, okay? So yellow jackets, because I'm not allergic to them, it's like when they shoot bullets at the Hulk. They just make me angry. Doesn't hurt. It just makes me want to take a fucking flamethrower to the backyard and torch the entire thing. No. Like, when you have nerve pain, yellow jackets ain't shit. So then Eddie got stung. But he got stung twice, and he started welling up. And then I called the next day. We had a video visit with his doctor. We got prednisone. He started taking it. It seemed like it wasn't getting better. It was stressing me out. Then we went to the hangout, and it has been 1 week at that point since we have moved him into the resort. Yes. And we go to Dave and Shelley's for the hangout.
Is that what you're calling it?
What, the hangout?
No, the resort?
Yeah, the resort. So we go to Dave and Shelley's, and Dave gives Eddie 3 bourbons, and I was not paying attention because I was doing our homework. And afterwards, Eddie is in the best mood. He's so excited. We go back to the house. He's hugging us. I love it here. This can be the rest of my life. It's so wonderful. I'm like, oh my God, Dave got you so drunk. And we get Sky and we go back, and I make the bad decision of let's walk Sky after dark.
Oh, God.
while Eddie's drunk. So Eddie falls on his face on the soft ground and cracks his glasses and gets a black eye and has a 2 centimeter laceration, superficial. And I get him back inside. I drive him back over to our house because I'm thinking we're probably going to have to go to the ER because I'm worried about the fact that the prednisone doesn't seem to be working anyway. And I don't need him to, stop breathing. So we're sitting at my house, and I'm also like, I cannot take him this fucking drunk to the ER. it's like, ma'am.
This is like elder abuse.
Exactly. They're going to call the Health and Human Services on me. I'm like, okay. So I'm like feeding him bread. Like, hey, Uncle Eddie, how's it going? And he's like, okay. I said, okay. Can you see me? And he's like, well, I don't have my glasses. I said, I know your glasses are broken. Can you see me? Well, you kind of look like you're moving around a little bit. I said, okay, I'm sitting still. Can you see Elaine? Yeah, she looks good. Can you see Sky over here? Yeah, he looks good. I can see Sky. So I'm like, okay. So maybe his vision is a little bit impacted, but again, he's drunk. So I don't know. This was potentially. We got out of the ER at about 2 a.m. Had CT scans of his head, neck, and shoulders and everywhere, and everything's fine. They're like, oh, it's only day 2 of the prednisone. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Take him back to our house so he can sleep, and so Sky won't freak out anymore. And this is where I'm so glad that your mother doesn't listen to this podcast, because she called me an hour into this. And she's like, she has to wake up early the next day because it's one of her WW days. Oh, and she's like, Sky won't stop whining. He's freaking out. And I said, there is a white canister with a green lid by the clipboard under the microwave. Open it up, pull out a hemp pill, give it to your dog. While you're at it, pull one out, give it to the other dog. Every dog gets a hemp pill. Take one if you need one.
You eat one, bitch.
We get back, and she's like, he cried the entire time. And I'm like, did you give him a hemp pill? No.
Then fuck you. Fuck you.
She got stung trying to kill the Yellow Jackets this week, and she's now at this point with me where we're going to scorch the earth. But she kept complaining about how itchy she was, and I was like, take some Benadryl. She was like, I don't need it. The third time she told me she was itchy, I just grabbed the Benadryl, opened it, pulled 2 out, and shoved them at her. It's like, take the Benadryl. I don't want to hear another word about it.
Take the Benadryl or shut the fuck up.
Oh, like, what is wrong with you? Like, what? Why? I do not.
Like, if you want to be miserable, fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I told a woman at Eddie's resort that I was so feminist that I couldn't have existed at any other time in history, because I would have been like, what do you mean I can't wear pants? Or like, what do you mean you can rape me because I'm married to you? Or what do you mean I can't have a bank account? Or what do you mean I can't own property? Like, none of that. Like, I would have just been like, fuck this, scorch the earth. Right. And she tried to argue with me that the women who fought for suffrage regretted it when they got it because they had more control over their husband's vote before they had the vote, because they could encourage their husbands to make the right choice. And I just sat there and just let her talk and didn't argue. So it's like, y'all got to die out and you cannot be voting anymore. Like, no more voting. If this is your thinking, no more voting. You are not allowed to decide the future of anything. You are the past. Like, take your votes away. No.
Yes. And yeah, you're the type of person that makes the argument that people of color were happier under slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Get the
same fucking argument. Yep. And then I didn't waste a lot of time this week. I had queried an agent, and she said she liked my stuff, and I should send her something that hadn't already been published. And so I sent her something last night. So I figured she'd be happy about that.
I'm sorry, you never
commented, as far as I can tell, on the one thing I sent you about that one book and why it's proof that you are a good writer and that you can get published and you should keep writing.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
The one, it's a book about a woman who basically has an intimate relationship with a man made out of marshmallow.
What?
It's a romance, but the man's made out of marshmallow.
I mean, who published it? Like, is it a self-published thing? Because that doesn't count.
I didn't do
if she doesn't have an agent.
do a whole lot of research, but somebody read it who doesn't know the author. Someone other than a friend of the author read it and made a video about it, and they were like, I mean, of course they were like, please take my library card away from me or something. They were like, please take my away from me. Like,
I have to give this up. But yesterday I started listening to a new podcast that's not new to me podcast called Behind the Bastards. And I am listening to the Kissinger 6-part Kissinger episode.
Jesus God.
And I now want to just scorch everything. Everything is awful. I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't even, when people talk about the political system now, I don't even want, I'm like, you have no idea what's actually happening. Like, none of that matters. Like, all of it is just fucking bullshit. Like, it is all just people trying to get into power and stay in power. And that's all it is about. Like, yeah. I have no.
Yeah, I was at our friend's house again, and they have family that like to post, like our mother, like to post things and share things without really thinking about them.
Oh, God damn it.
Like, you know, the government caused the 2 hurricanes. Florida.
Did you see the weathermen are getting death threats now?
Like, I want to be like, how can people be so fucking stupid? Like, how? Like, how can you be that goddamn stupid? Like, I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. But then I see a fucking member of Congress trying to question what the government did in the Ice Age to melt all the ice. Have you seen that, Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yes.
No.
Yes. Like, climate change isn't real. I mean, what the government, and they spent all that money during the Ice Age to melt all the ice. What did they do to melt the ice? I'm not even fucking kidding you, Heather.
Wow. I can't even. I mean, to me, I think we're just at the point where if you believe that the world has only existed for 6,000 years.
Well, that's some of the comments were like,
you just need to go live in a bubble and the rest of us can just get on with everything. Like,
I don't usually read the comments, but I was like, I just want to peek at the comments on this one. And that was one of them was like, wait, hold on. Like, how can you, if you believe the world's only 6,000 years old, then how do you also, what? And then another one.
When did the Ice Age happen, bitch?
Yeah, exactly. And then someone else was like, sorry, I'm from Wales. Could someone just clarify whether, like, this person's being serious or not?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, yes. Unfortunately.
No, I had breakfast with Joseph yesterday, and we were kind of talking about being like on the neurodivergent spectrum and how that makes life kind of fun or whatever. And he was saying that he really thought when Donald Trump was running the first time that it was just a joke. Like, he was like, "This is hilarious."
A lot of people did. Like,
this guy is, man, it's like Saturday Night Live happening in real life. Like, this is really funny. I was like, no, baby, no, it's really happening. So, fairy tales.
Oh, wait, no, I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
It's short, I promise. Okay, so because I now have my son sleeping in his own bed, it means I can't stay up and watch TV because, like, he's in that room and the TV in the living room, and then Ben's in here asleep, and, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not watching as much TV, which, you know, is good. It's fine, whatever. But I've been watching not WandaVision, but Agatha all the time, all along.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed it. And so new episodes come out on Wednesday night. So then did you see a wasp?
No, I think we have another rodent.
Oh, awesome. Even better. Hey, when you torch the yard, could you just maybe do the house too? Like, it's just a thought.
It's really dry here. If I torch anything, the whole thing will go.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. Edit this bit
It's
out.
amazing that you managed to have all of your valuables, including your passport, in your car.
Like, I just had a feeling.
You should. Don't listen to my podcast.
Edit this part out. Anyway, so like Thursday morning, I go to work, and my second block class, my AP kids come in, and this one kid who I love to give a hard time because there's always one in every class. Is like, I overhear him and I can tell he's talking. And I was like, wait a minute, are you talking about Agatha All Along? He's like, yes. Did you watch it last night? And I was like, no, shut up. Didn't say that. I was like, stop talking. Mm-hmm. And he like keeps talking. Like, and then I was like, no, I don't want to hear you. I didn't get a chance to watch it. So, be quiet. And then and then he's doing something. And I was like, and then he keeps talking about it. Like, but I can hear it. I was like, dude, I will kick you out of class. Like, please, like, because part of me would just be really entertained by kicking a student out of class because he was trying to spoil a show that I haven't seen yet. Like, I would direct that referral.
Yeah.
So I was like, don't push me. So, and then on Friday,
you were like, I have such little joy in my life. Please don't ruin us.
Being mean to you. And watching these shows, like, that's what I have. No, I love this kid. And then, like, the next day, because it was, like, happened to be a double B-day kind of situation on Friday, he was like, Miss Davis, did you watch it last night? And I was like, no, I can't watch TV anymore and he was like, today is the last day. Like, I'm not going to hold my tongue anymore. Like, I promise I'll watch it tonight. So I watched it.
Shelf life 2 days, man.
I know. I was like, calm the fuck down. Like,
these kids are fucked.
Oh, they're so fucked. They're so fucked. Like, yeah. Like, one of them, like, we kicked them off of their phones, off our Wi-Fi, and one of them, like, this is a tragedy. I was like, why don't you call someone in Western North Carolina and talk to them about how you not having Wi-Fi on your phone at school is a tragedy? Like, please. And they have said, nigh another word to me about it.
It's all Gaza.
Nary another word. Fucking assholes. So.
What do you remember about Shelley Duvall's Fairytale Theater?
Not a goddamn thing. Like, really? Literally nothing.
Yeah.
I thought, like, I wrote down literally nothing. I thought that she would, like, I vaguely was thinking she was would be dressed in a Mother Goose outfit. I don't know why.
Thank you, because I said maybe I remember the Princess and the Pea episode, and then I thought maybe it was a little lady in a big chair. So we must have watched something else.
Yeah,
that was like that.
Another Mother Goose show. Yeah. I think maybe it was on Disney or something.
Was it Shelley Duvall?
I don't. I'm gonna look up.
What's internet? Help us. I don't know. And then I was just eager to see if they would be faithful to the original stories, like how much they would change the original fairy tales.
Yeah, and it seemed like they were pretty.
Considering the amount of casting of physically divergent individuals, I would say that yes, they were very.
These, I will say, I remember nothing, and these were way fucked up. Like, I'm glad. Like, maybe I'd heard of it. But, I mean, I remember Shelley Duvall, and I love that it's like Shelley Duvall. It's just nothing to do with it. Like, all she does is like, ba-da-da-da-da-da, fairy tale.
She does the intro. She acted in some of them, and she produced it. So,
okay, because I don't guess I didn't watch any of the ones that she was in. So
I did. So which ones did you watch?
I watched The Frog Prince, and then I watched, and when I say watched, I mean, skimmed.
Sure.
Sleeping Beauty, Hansel and Gretel, and The Boy Who Left Home to Find Out About the Shivers, because that just sounded like the most fucked up thing ever.
Yes. So I watched The Princess and the Pea. And I started The Boy Who Left Home to Find Out About the Shivers because I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
And I watched Rumpelstiltskin while Eddie was getting bourbon drunk.
Yeah, I tried to watch Rumpelstiltskin, but that was when I kept having trouble. And then I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. What?
Okay, it looks like there's something called Mother Reddit 80s kids show ? Woman dressed as child sits in oversized chair. That wasn't Mother Goose. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, go ahead. Newport Daily News. Lady in the big chair.
Lady in the big chair.
I think maybe it was Mother Goose's treasury. No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? It's fine. Fever dream from childhood. I think that Razzmatazz should be the actual name of our podcast.
Razzmatazz. I also wrote
showing me Razzmatazz.
I don't even remember what it came from.
It was one of the companies that produced it or released it or something.
I love that people picked up on that. It just shows like why we could be, why we do this, why this works for us.
Yep.
Oh my God. So I don't know about you in the episodes that you saw. Tell me again what you watched. I'm gonna put my computer away. Sorry. You watched
Princess and the Pea, starring Liza Minnelli.
Rumpelstiltskin,
and I started The Boy Who Left Home to Find Out About the Shippers.
Warning. Sorry.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah. Do you have a fairy tale that you like a lot? What's one of your favorite fairy tales? Oh, McDonald. Yeah, that's a good one. Are you about to go take a bath? Yeah. No, Mama's busy and Daddy does bath time. Mommy brushes teeth. And then Mommy will read stories with you.
Stories?
Yeah.
Hey, did you get your supplies to start your Harry Potter pumpkins?
Yes.
You did? Did you get black pipe cleaners?
Yes.
Did you find Harry Potter glasses?
We're going to paint those.
Maybe.
Did you find gold paint for the golden snitch?
Yes.
Yes. Did you find other things at Michael's that you wanted?
Not really. He did really good sticking to the list and staying on mission.
Did Mommy also do good at... What?
Mommy did not.
Mommy did not, yeah. I was about to ask.
We were somewhere shopping and he goes,
you two got to quit snitching on each other, by the way.
At Marshall's, when we were getting cat stuff a couple weekends ago, I kept wanting to stop and look at stuff and he was like, Mommy, stay focused.
That's good.
All right.
You're using your makeup brush again, the mic.
He loves
makeup brush.
Oh, thank you. All right. Tell Didi bye-bye. Go get in the bath.
Bye-bye.
All right. Close the door for me, please. Thank you. I love you.
Podcast about your favorite fairy.
Yes, we're doing a podcast about our favorite fairy tales.
So if you ever get bored and want to watch any of these again, I highly recommend The Princess and the Pea. It was actually very enjoyable. There was a lot about it that I liked quite a lot.
Nice. I would say that the guy with the shivers was like probably the most enjoyable for me of the ones that I watched.
Would you like to know the last thing that I wrote about? Oh, no, I wrote the two last things I wrote about the Shivers episode. 1, 0 girls in the history of the world have had to go find the Shivers. Because we all have the Shivers finding us. We don't have to go find them.
It's just such a...
And then I wrote, do we need a hunchback?
And we need Frank Zappa as a hunchback?
Yeah. Well...
Like, first of all, okay, the one thing I have to say about this show is kudos to them because this is star fucking studded. Like, star fucking studded. Like, if you were even semi-famous in the late 80s, you were in this show.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Or you became somewhat famous later on. But, like, yeah, I mean, I was just, like, aghast, right? So, I mean... Me being the person I am, we're like, oh, we'll just watch the first one, Frog Prince. Like, okay, Robin Williams. which like I vaguely remembered that like once I saw him.
Yeah.
They talk so much. Like the whole episode is just people fucking talking. And I was like, is it for kids?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean,
boring as hell. But the other thing I noticed too, except for the Shivers one, like every episode starts with people like about to fuck or talking about fucking or making jokes about fucking. No. Okay, so the Frog Prince starts with like a couple in their room and like one of them's in bed and it's all about how they can't conceive.
Oh, okay.
And like they don't understand why.
Okay.
They can't conceive, which so like the dude, so they're like talking and you can't see the king. He comes back to he's facing the window or whatever. And like then he turns around and he's got this like giant fucking prosthetic nose.
Oh wow.
Like, oh my God, his nose. And then when it's like, we don't know why we can't conceive. And then the fairy who comes in and like whispers in her ear to tell her like how to have a baby. I'm like, well, is she like sitting on his face? Like, what is she doing? Like, they didn't fucking know how to have a baby. Like, what is happening? I don't understand. And then every single character in that play had a black page boy wig. So I feel like the costume director's order was just like, I need 200 black page boy wigs. And I don't know. They were running around. It was very stressful. It was just. So
The Princess and the Pea started with a couple who were in an art gallery in contemporary, like 1980s New York.
Oh my.
And they're like, they see this pea in a glass box and they're like, what's the story of this? And there's a guard there and he's like, well, I'll tell you the story. And then it's like back in kingdom times, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly you're transported back to the throne room and there's a king and a queen and it's the New York couple that were looking at the pea and their court jester is the security guard and they all have English accents all of a sudden. And then there's this prince who was basically doing his best impression of Arthur from Arthur. Drunk and bored as hell. So suddenly, like, just take a princess. And then all of a sudden, there's Liza Minnelli showing up in the rain, like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, oh, I have to be a princess. And then at one point, somebody said, you infected my milk, which I wrote, LOL.
Oh, God.
And there was this really weird juxtaposition of like anachronistic things. And I don't know if it's because it's like a frame story that started contemporary, but like the clothing had buttons when it was like not set in a time when there would be buttons. And there was like a bedspread when it was like nobody would have a bedspread. Like, what is happening?
Okay, now you're being me.
But then the prince is where the Arthur prince at one point is wearing a fez and it has a tassel and it's a really big tassel. So I guess maybe trying to play up those little penis comparisons from time to time. I have no idea. Then there was a little person and I wasn't sure why there had to be a little person in this. So that's why when there was a humpback in the Shivers, I was like, what the hell is going on? It was such a total mess. But then there's that. So then, because the prince decides he needs to get married, his mom micromanages, the queen micromanages and brings in all these princesses. And one of them's a total idiot. And at one point she says, in my spare time, I like to count horses and think about my feet. Liza Minnelli is like trying to get rid of her. And she's like, have you been to the stable? She's like, I like to count horses. Sending her out to like
I want to see that Marjorie Taylor Greene say that like next time. I'm like where's that video of her saying shit like that at Congress? Like,
yes. And then the court jester is like, oh, is it time to tie the noose instead of tie the knot, which is funny because of all the terrible princesses. And then I just like But what, like, basically, Liza Minnelli decides, like, he's the one for her kind of halfway through or whatever, and he has no idea. Like, he doesn't even really want to get married. Like, he's just this whole thing. And I just like to think, like, how bad every other man throughout the kingdoms she's met for him to be the one that she's like, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
She's tired. Like, she's like, fine, I'll settle. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like, I was kind of skipping through, but at the very end of The Frog Prince, the frog, who's very tiny, is fencing a scorpion in bed with Terry Garr. So, like, the frog and the princess were in bed together, and then he was fighting a scorpion. So that was, like, real fucked up.
That just sounds like a real fairy tale, though. Like...
Yeah, like, I think that was more like just straight fairy tale. I mean, it was the first one. Like, I think they got more stoned as they went on.
like in Rumpelstiltskin, he gets really mad and like shoves his foot down into the earth and then disappears, like blows up. Like, yeah, I mean,
there was some fucked, and like the boy with the shivers that one got a little fucked up. But like,
yeah, I didn't finish that one, but. Yeah.
So, like, it's Sleeping Beauty, Beverly D'Angelo, Bernadette Peters, and Christopher Reeves.
Oh, wow.
Was the prince. And
okay.
Wow.
I'd wake up for him.
I was like, oh, he was so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
When he came on.
Gentle. Very gentle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and he was in this. Like, I was like, you're just having fun, aren't you? But it's like him and his guy are like, I don't know. They're like, we seek a girl, a special girl. And I don't know. There was a part about like, you want elves. I don't know. And then the queen was the actress from Back to School who hooked up with Rodney Dangerfield. Like, I was like, also they couldn't have a baby. So it like goes back in time to tell the story. And it's like, they also couldn't have a baby, and then Bernadette Peters comes and tells them how to have a baby, or something. Some fairy comes and tells them how to have a baby again, and I'm like, how come no one in these fairy tales knows how to fuck? I don't understand. And then
I will say, noble women in history didn't necessarily know. Like,
but how could it be that hard to figure out? I mean, animals figure it out.
True. Yeah.
Like,
have you seen the first season of Outlander?
You only have so many holes.
But if you don't know that the holes are supposed to supposed to go together, like you don't know that the parts are supposed to. Yeah. I
mean, again, yeah.
Have you seen the third season of Bridgerton?
So I guess people can be really stupid. So yeah. I don't know. That one got a little boring. There was like a big dragon. It was insane. I wrote BP and then Diane. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Hansel and Gretel was fucking terrible, although it had Ricky Schroeder played Hansel.
I was afraid to watch that one because I thought it's going to be kid actors and they're probably not going to be very, very good.
He was pretty good. The girl was awful. Joan Collins was the evil mother.
Also, honestly, the more I think about like that fairy tale in particular, I'm like, was she a witch or was she just like a Jewish woman living alone and this like a really fucking racist story? Like,
possibly. Possibly.
I don't know.
But I don't. So this one had a whole part to the story. I mean, I guess in the original, like, I don't remember. I guess there is the evil stepmother who's like banished, which seems to be a fairly common trope. But in this one, she's like, hey, if you go abandon your kids in the forest, I'll have sex with you. Literally. And the guy's like, okay. Like, he takes a little convincing. But yeah, basically, she's like, and then, they'll be found by some prince. Surely some rich prince is going to find them and take them in. And the guy's like, that seems reasonable. So, yeah. And that's all. Like,
I feel like that's the fairy tale for how you convince women that they have to be the ones to raise the kids. These fucking dumb fathers.
Fucking, yeah. Like, who
abandon their children so they can get laid.
Oh, fucking terrible. I didn't really write anything else about that because it was just like, oh God. And then, the boy who left home to find out about the shivers, which sounds like a song I tried to write.
That's Price, Frank Zappa, Transylvania.
It was just like, what is happening? And I'm pretty sure that the guy was the guy that wrote those terrible poems and Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And the actor. Yeah. So that was fun.
And then there was, he dressed up like a ghost and he was like a Scooby-Doo ghost. Ooh.
I did like when something happened and like somebody bit the gold piece. And if you telling grandma to bite her money or telling Gary to tell her to bite her money.
That's right.
And in the end, the thing that gave him the shivers was going back to your now it's time to tie the noose joke was the getting married. The prospect of great. The thing that finally gave him the shivers. The zombies were juggling in a circle around him at one point. Like, it was like, what?
Well, that wouldn't give me the shivers.
I mean, what is even like, what he was just like, and like every time something terrible happened, he's just like, what's happening?
I mean, part of it was those people were so afraid of superstitions, right? And that was really stupid. So you can appreciate that he's like, this is dumb. But then when he like shoves the ghost off of the tower, I'm like, I mean, if it's really a ghost, you can't kill it by shoving it. Like, is this a Japanese ghost that like doesn't follow the ghost rules and it can just follow you around everywhere? Like
at the end of the day, it was like the ghost of the guy was the one haunting the house to protect his daughter. I don't like it was.
Fairy tales are fucked up.
Oh my God. Like, we need to stop.
It felt like the whole show was kind of like Blackadder crossed with Doctor Who. Like, it was like old Doctor Who, OG Doctor Who. It was interesting. Now, I will say one thing that I looked up about it and that I appreciated. I don't know if they were all done this way, but some of them, they would do the production design based on a piece of classical art. So like for Rumpelstiltskin, because she's spinning the straw into gold, they used a Klimt painting and kind of like used all the colors and set everything up to kind of mimic that, which I thought was really cool. But then Shelley Long was in it and she was whining a whole lot.
Like, these women, I can't stand these women. I
mean, Shelley Duvall, not Shelley Long. Sorry, Shelley Duvall was in it. And I was like, I love you, but you have to stop. But then Bud Cort was in it. And I was like, oh, Bud Cort, I love you. It was a whole lot. But I'm glad I rewatched these. I don't remember them from my childhood at all, but
I can't say I'm glad I rewatched them, but
no. Okay.
They did that thing where they kind of made me anxious.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. They
had that like darkness to them that like that doesn't sit well with me. So By the way, next week I will 100% be fast forwarding through part of the movie we're planning to watch. Just telling you.
I keep trying to find it because there's a thread going around about what's one movie that completely ruined your childhood. Like, what's a scene from a movie that completely ruined your childhood? And I'm like, we all know exactly what that scene is from the Neverending Story, but I can't find a GIF of it to put on Threads. I can only find a version where when they cut to the horse, it's like a cartoon horse, like an anime horse. And I'm like, what? That's not how it went.
I know. I'm like, so I'm wondering if we are able to read one Harry Potter book like a year, which is what the rate we're at right now.
That's a good rate.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, how devastated is he going to be when he finds out Hedwig dies? Because like we were doing a Hedwig pumpkin along with the Harry pumpkin, and that was like not even like a question.
Right.
And he had his big stuffed Hedwig and his tiny baby Hedwig, Mama Hedwig and baby Hedwig that you gave him. And I was like, well, what if we use, I was like, if you don't like this, it's fine. Just tell me no. It's just an idea. But what if we put baby Hedwig? No. Okay.
Mama Hedwig would miss her. She'd be lonely at the library by herself. I'm like, fair enough. So
I didn't know he was that into Hedwig. That's awesome. I can't wait to get him to the other Hedwig.
I think about Tara's about to come in here, so I should probably wrap it up.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, y'all. That's it for this episode of I Love Your Butt. Join us next week when we discuss the never-ending story. What made you laugh? Did you watch these fairy tales? Do you know who the little lady in the big chair is? What made you cringe? What did we forget? What should we talk about in future episodes? We want to know your thoughts. Find us on Instagram and Threads at I Love You Butt Pod, or email us. Elliot, do you know what email is? You're never going to know. You're too young. By the time you're there, they're not going to do it anymore. Email us at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Listener email and comments may turn up in future episodes. Be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. I'm Heather.
I'm Ryan, and we wish you lots and lots of conditional love.